the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown.
And everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Come on now. Welcome into Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett Pritchard and Andy Graham, 2 times in one day.
I'm telling you. Somebody call the police.
Somebody call the police. We're here with you till 9 o'clock, and we're glad that you joined us wherever it is that you might be tuning us in. And appreciate all of you out there doing that. 256-234-6221. If you'd like to pick up the phone and give us a ring, Sports Splits Live, that's Sports with a Z on Facebook. And you can join us that way and comment away throughout the show, and we'd love to have you. So many of you do that, and we appreciate that so much. It gives us a lot to discuss and add, and we can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank JR Sports Bar Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air enough as well. They've been with us a long time, so we're glad that they've joined us out there. But again, Andy, for the second time today, good to see you. A lot to discuss tonight as we go on the air. The All-Star game about to start. I know that's probably not the most watched, intrigued game out there by the average fan, but it's always fun to see who plays, and if the NL or the AL can win to get that home field advantage in the World Series.
I don't know if you saw this. They're getting a little something different. If there is a tie, home run derby to decide who wins it.
They'll get out there and have a home run derby.
They pick 3, I think, from each team.
Let's hope for a tie.
Acuna is one of them.
Let's hope for a tie.
Acuna and Pete Alonso, and I forget who the other one is for the National League.
How about Juan Soto?
Yeah, really.
I mean, is it really that hard to pick?
But man, I mean, that's actually, I can definitely get behind that.
Oh yeah, man. Stay creative. You know, that's the thing about it, and you know that's what makes that sport, I guess, intriguing is if they can do some creative things. Because you know, baseball, unfortunately, is a slow-paced sport. That
fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it.
Well, I mean, for the average fan, it's not gonna draw in a lot of people like a fast-paced sport would do, just to be flipping channels or whatever. But your baseball purist, obviously, they love it, and I love baseball, and you do, and it's always fun to watch. And our team, the Braves, are kind of hitting their stride right now, and looking forward to seeing what they can do in the second half of the season. A boatload of Braves are at the All-Star game, so that's did you see that picture of all of them out there? Mm-hmm. Look, the whole daggum team went out there. You know, by the time you add the coaches and the players that got selected and the managers and all that kind of stuff that went with them, I mean, it's literally like a team picture.
That's the way it ought to be.
They said there's 3 teams out there in L.A., the NL, the AL, and the Braves. And
well, that's a reward for winning the World Series. I mean, you get to your manager,
hey, look,
just a coach.
And they have milked this, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, you don't know how many times it's going to come around. And in this day and age of marketing and pushing things out and pushing your brand out there, the Braves have had like 3 or 4 nights where you can get a replica World Series ring. They've donned the gold jerseys and hats several times this year. I love it, man. I mean, you earned that. It's hard to do. And so you're the world champions until somebody knocks you off that throne.
And I was told those rings, those replicas that they give out, they're not like cheap plastic.
No, they're not.
I mean, they're not like the real thing, obviously, but
they're heavy.
They're
heavy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, they come in a nice big box, and you know, people, you can go on eBay and get one. I mean, people are selling them like that.
Well.
Hey, I went to St. Louis and several years ago, and coming through, and they were actually playing the Braves of all teams. So we went to the game, and one of the giveaways was one of the World Series rings in the past for St. Louis. I thought that was awesome, man.
Sure.
Got in there, got that ring, and those replica rings are very, very nice. They aren't, like you said, they're not cheap, and it's a pretty cool keepsake, and a lot of people go around to all these stadiums collecting all this stuff, whether it be rings and bobbleheads and all that. But anyway, just want to kind of say that's going on as we come on there. SEC Media Days is underway. So Alabama, Nick Saban went. So we'll talk about that. If anybody's got anything they want to add or talk about, it looked like they had their fans over there with their ring hat on, and
the dude with the ring on his head is
and then the
still
Rammer
there.
Jammer, and then the Rammer Jammer guy that's joined him.
I believe you got your picture taken with the ring guy.
I didn't do it. Somebody did. I didn't do it. I didn't get my picture taken.
Did
with
you
him.
not?
No.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
I bet Justin has got evidence.
If he does, then I'll eat it. I know we took a picture of him.
We did take.
Or did he come over to our table?
He
and
came over to our
okay,
table.
I know I didn't walk over there and stand
I think I'm in the background of this picture, trying to hide my face.
Yeah, I think we talked.
This is vaguely familiar, but it's been a while. But
Well, that was
great. That was 2014 or 13. What was that? I
Well,
forget.
Gus walking in with who were C.J. Uzama.
Yeah.
Who else was in that group? I can't remember who all came, but anyway.
Defensive lineman. Who was that? He was pretty good. He wasn't great.
Pretty good.
He ended up playing for the
Wright?
Yeah,
Right.
Gabe Wright.
Gabe Wright. And was that it? That had to be one.
I want to
more.
think there was who was the quarterback then?
Well, it
Was
wasn't
Jeremy Johnson? Did he go?
I think it was.
Was that him? Probably.
Ooh.
That didn't work out well, did it?
No, yeah, because everybody was talking about him being a Heisman winner.
Yeah.
So it didn't quite work out. That was 2015, wasn't it?
I'm thinking it was 14.
Well,
the year
13
after.
and 13 and 14 was Nick Marshall. Nick Marshall came back to be the quarterback in 14.
Yeah, but Nick Marshall got suspended because
so
he
he couldn't
smoking
come. So
weed.
that's exactly right.
How about that?
No, he wasn't smoking. It was just in his car.
That's right. Well, no, yeah, it was a coincidence. He
didn't have any idea how that got in there.
It was been misplaced.
Yeah, he had no idea how that got in there, and he was pretty upset about it.
Yeah.
He said he was going to go after that guy that
He
was in the
did,
car.
that's
that
right.
left him
And
in
was
there.
not
So
going to rest until he came to
that's
justice.
exactly right. But you remember that was the year Auburn opened up with Arkansas to start the season.
Yeah.
First game, that was odd.
Didn't play
wasn't
the
it?
first half.
And Jeremy Johnson lit it up. Everybody was like, my gosh, how are we benching this guy?
Yeah. Wasn't there a long rain delay?
Oh, it was the hottest day ever, and a massive thunderstorm blew up.
Yeah.
And most people got the heck out of Dodge. So,
But as well as Jeremy Johnson played, it was like 21-all, right?
it was.
Yeah, I think it was tied at the half. And
Right.
Nick Marshall came and just took over in
Yeah,
the
they
second
couldn't
half.
stop him.
No.
But anyway, Commissioner Sankey has already talked. He talked yesterday. We'll talk about media days, anything to be added to that. Hey, look, if you watched leading into this program tonight, I do want to say our Lake Martin Sports Roundup program usually focuses on local area teams and coaches and players and accolades from around this area. We cover a lot of these local high schools, and but tonight was a special show that we did for Wesley Coleman, a dear friend of ours, who we'll tell his story a little bit tonight. A really, really good friend of ours, works with us on the HSA network. Also is part of our broadcast team for Benjamin Russell High School on Friday nights. He's our stat guy and our spotter. Really kind of keeps me in line up there on Friday nights and points some things out while I'm actually calling the play that I might miss and of importance. But Wesley has a heart condition that's going to lend him having to get a heart transplant in the near future. So he is at UAB, and he's on our minds constantly. And he's a young guy, and that's the thing that his family and his world has kind of been flipped upside down with what he's had to go through over the last 40 days. But he's got a great attitude. He's embraced this situation, and he's ready to take it on head on, Andy. And again, we have our GoFundMe up on our pages that you can go, or if you just want to go to GoFundMe.com and type in Wesley Coleman, it pops up. And if you feel led to give, please do, because they've got a long road ahead of them. I'm sure enormous medical cost now and in their future. So every little bit helps, and he's somebody that it really walks the walk. He doesn't just talk the talk. He walks the walk, and he's got two young kids, and his wife Danielle is by his side up at UAB Hospital, helping him get through this. So, Andy, I know you know Wesley really well, and what he's been a part of, and just such a sudden instance. Any of us could be in that position, and that's the thing that's kind of humbling, because this is a guy that is in tremendous shape, has been an athlete his whole life, is a tennis pro by profession. That's what he does for a living, and just started feeling bad back at the beginning of June, and had to go do some tests, and this is where he is now.
Yeah, just a wonderful guy, wonderful human being, and certainly a lot of people around here care about him and thinking about him and praying for him, and certainly going to expect the best outcome for him, and hopefully that will come sooner rather than later.
No doubt, and it's a process that they want us to talk about this and get that word out there, and they're not asking for anything. The only thing they're asking for is prayer, but we all understand the long road they have ahead of them, and so anything that you feel led to give would be much appreciated. But he understands his path here, and it's hard to come to terms with information like that and news from a doctor that says, look, this is what we're going to have to do, and once you get over the shock of that news, then you do what Wesley's done, and that's say, look, okay, this is the cards I've been dealt. Let's get after it, and let's figure out. And the thing with heart transplants, and we've learned so much in this process, is being friends and getting news from them, is that there is no schedule to this thing. Once you get put on a list, Andy, I mean, it's a waiting game, and you don't know how long it could be. It could be 24 hours. It could be 24 months. You don't know when it would be, and so there's a lot of waiting around and a lot of anticipation of kind of sitting on the edge of your seat. But again, he's prepared to do what it takes to get to that next step.
Well, I mean, he's got a lot to live for, and he's got a long life still ahead of him. So that's great motivation, and not that he needs any more.
No, right.
But again, he's in very good hands. The people up there in UAB are exceptional, and I've dealt with them before.
So have we,
so,
in my family. So
again, just expecting the best outcome for him.
No doubt about it. Go again, Wesley Coleman on our Facebook and social media, or you can go to GoFundMe.com and type in Wesley Coleman, and it'll pull up the story and the profile there. And if you feel led to give, please do so. I know they'd be very appreciative of whatever it is that you might want to give. We're up against our first break of the program. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
I'm just waiting on you, man. Welcome back to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Eating.
I'll do the second hour.
Why don't you just do that? Yeah, isn't that what Chip Carey and all them did?
That's right.
Skip Carey did. And
Chip and Pete Van Weir.
What'd they do? Take over about
Don Sutton.
about fifth inning, they took over.
4.5 innings. You do the other 4.5.
There you go. I'll let you do the last 4.5. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sports Blitz Live.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm Charles Fuller. I ain't called y'all in a long time.
We're glad to have you. What's up?
Mr. Coleman, I hope he gets a lot better.
You and me both. I tell you, it's
I said my daughter worked with his wife at Jim Pearson.
Awesome.
And my daughter was manager over there at Tim Pearson's school in the lunchroom.
Okay.
But she really liked Miss Coleman, but State took over the lunchroom, so they moving her to Stevens. And I guess the little boy will follow her over there too. I think y'all said he going into 3rd grade.
That's correct, Hudson. Yes.
Yeah, my daughter gave me a football schedule for 2022.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's right around the corner. Right around the corner, my man.
Yeah, and I can only ask one question.
Okay.
And I'm going to hang up. I seen a football game last night. Who replaced, I don't even know where y'all were born then or not, but who replaced Shug Jordan at Auburn?
Would you like that?
Doug Barfield.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You answered your own question.
Unfortunately, it was.
I seen him and the guy that done the radio announcing for Auburn. I think he died.
Were you talking about Rod Bramblett?
Jim Five, was that his name?
Jim Five, correct.
Yeah, they showed a whole Alabama, Mississippi All-Star game last night.
Well, that's good, my man, and we appreciate you calling.
Yeah, y'all have a great day, and I guess Luke's up there with Nick Saban.
No, Luke's calling the North-South All-Star basketball game tonight, so we'll catch up with him later.
Is that coming on TV?
No, it's on right now, I believe, or it's about to be over.
Okay, well, thank you a lot.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Y'all can give us a call, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program.
Got to give the people a break occasionally.
The what?
You got to give the people a break occasionally.
Yeah, well, he'd have to be gone for a while. So, yeah, anyway. But anyway, we appreciate the calls, and I know the Coleman family appreciate the the good words there and the words of encouragement. Talking about SEC Media Days, it's not what it used to be, Andy, from a standpoint of, what we used to do and how we used to approach it. And because social media's kind of changed.
It's not in Birmingham either.
Well, this year it's not.
It seems a little odd.
Second time since 2017.
Yeah.
So
eventually they're just gonna move it out of there.
All right, so I'm gonna dive into something, and look, this may take up several segments. We'll kind of carry this over from Auburn Blitz today, and an extension. And just as we go, really start the show, another recruit that was down to Auburn and Georgia, and was it North Carolina 3, and the defensive lineman decides he's going to go to Georgia. And now there's a lot of
Jamal Jarrett, I think is it.
Yeah, a lot of beat writers and whoever who are usually eternal optimists, okay, are starting to become realists, I guess, and say, starting to sound like a broken record, but another guy chooses X school over Auburn. This is the crux of the matter. This is what it's all gonna boil down to, Andy. It's not gonna be anything other than, can Brian Harsin land the caliber of players to compete in this league? And right now, he's got 4 commitments, and they're 4 stars. But I don't
high on quality, low on quality.
But you got to get the numbers, man. And so,
and this is a year, by the way, that since they have raised the number, you don't know, there's no longer that 25 cap.
Right.
Auburn was going to sign about 30. Close to it.
How you going to get to 30?
That was the plan.
Yeah, how you going to get to 30?
Now, is that even realistic at this point? I don't know. But yeah, to your point, look, like you mentioned, we got the number 1 running back in the state. We got the number 1 receiver in the state. That's great.
Right.
That's wonderful. Two high quality. All 4 guys are 4-star guys. But, and again, I'll go back and say what I said, I think today, and I've said in the past. Just because you miss on a guy doesn't mean there's not somebody even better that he may be 3 stars compared to 4 stars, and he actually may be better. There's a Derek Marks out there. There's 2 or 3 of those guys for probably every 4-star guy. Now, that being said, that may happen. So, I'm not saying all is lost. However, if you keep saying this guy's number 1 on our board and he's visited – and oh man, this is a guy, and he chooses somebody else. What do you expect people around the program to feel like? What do you expect them to? You don't expect them to be like, okay, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. That's just natural.
It starts to become the expectation, that you're gonna miss out, and in recruiting, it does no good to finish second. Okay, if there's ever been a game
you're talking about on an individual.
Right. Yeah, not second in the nation.
Yeah.
I'm talking about up on when you're competing against however many schools and they narrow it down to 3 and you always finish second. That's the worst thing that can happen. Might as well be 222nd. Yeah. As far as that's concerned, that's where Brian Harsin, this is the fight he's got ahead of him. And again, I told you this afternoon. I don't know if we're ever going to really get a true picture of what kind of recruiter he can be because of what was done to him in the offseason and what those boosters and whoever it was that wanted him out of here tried to make up and tried to pin on him to get him gone. And what a national disaster that was anyway, just from a perception. And people got to understand that if you're a recruit and you're a parent out there and you just witnessed what all went on with that, you're you're already apprehensive because you're like, I'm sending my kid down there in the middle of that. They just tried to pin some junk on the head coach to get him gone. It's just it's really unfathomable to think about it. When you stop and think, did that really happen?
And it was the absolute worst of everything. They went to the point to say he mistreats players. They went to the point to say he was having an affair with his secretary. It went across the board.
Like he couldn't have been a bigger slime ball.
You could not have done it any worse. It could not have been any worse, possibly, unless it had been true. That's the only way it would have been worse. But this is even actually worse because it's not true. So I'm with you. It's just stunningly
mind-blowing.
Stunning how bad it was.
No, you're right.
Self-inflicted wound.
Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto, central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
When the Lake Martin area wants country, it turns to Kalijah Country 97.5. Lake Martin's best country.
Goes like 1 margarita, 2 margarita, 3 margarita shot. And if the house just keeps on winning, I got a wild card up my sleeve. I wish grandpa's never died.
Lake Martin's best country is on Kalijah Country 97.5.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Brett Pritchard and Andy Graham here with you till 9 o'clock. You can give us a call, 256-234-6221, or you can give us a comment or ask us a question on Facebook Live. Sports Blitz, that's sports with a Z. Yesterday's action at Media Days was LSU, Ole Miss, and Missouri. Anything of note, really?
Not a whole. I mean, Drinkowitz talked a lot about Malzahn and how much he thought of him and how much he enjoyed his time. He did make a statement, which we all understand. Probably, I don't think a lot of people really. I mean, they hear it in the SEC, but they kind of blow it off. He said once you're something like once you're a part of Auburn, you're always a part of Auburn. And that's where he started. He came from Springdale High School to Auburn and. Worked there, and he saed how much he enjoyed it now that Missouri's coming back to Auburn this year.
He's
so
looking
that
forward to
was
it.
kind of interesting. And Ole Miss said, Lane Kiffin said that NIL is legalized cheating, which is true. And it's funny, but
we kind of went down that rabbit
He's at
hole.
least plain spoken, and that's good. So Jim Hardy pointed out today, Mike Leach saying I don't like opening statements because somebody brought up on the Auburn Blitz what was Brian Harson's opening statement. Do we have an over and under?
7
Over under
minutes.
how long? I put it at 7 minutes. That's probably way too low because I didn't realize it. Last year was 14 minutes and 45 seconds. The opening statement from Brian Harsin.
Well, surely he won't have that big one this year.
You and I that's why I put it at 7. Boy, you
Yeah,
taking
I don't
over
think-
or under?
I'm going under.
Under 7?
Yeah, I mean,
I
heck,
took
no.
over. I said 9 minutes.
Yeah, I just shut up. You know, don't. I mean, really. I mean, is that you trying to take up more time so nobody asks you a question? Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
If you look at it from Lane Kiffin's perspective, he walks in and autographs a mustard bottle right when he walks up. One fan, because of one of the things that was thrown at him, a golf ball, all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Was that at Tennessee, the mustard bottle?
I think so.
I knew the golf ball was.
I think there was a lot of stuff that was being thrown out of the stands. All right, so let's talk
They
about.
tend to do that at Tennessee, apparently.
Yeah, they get a little mad. They've had a lot to be mad at over the last 25 years. Lane Kiffin with a short stint there. Look, he did a good job while he was there. He just left.
What'd they go, 7-6?
I mean, and had Alabama on the road.
That's true. They did.
But anyway, of those three teams, but Brian Kelly, first time in the SEC. A lot of talent, a lot of unknowns. Auburn gets LSU at home, and that could help as far as that's concerned. Just your thoughts on Brian Kelly. You think he's going to be able to get it done at LSU? What do you expect out of a Brian Kelly-led LSU team this year?
This year, that's a good question. I don't have a lot of expectation for this year, just for the sheer fact of how bad they were last year. I mean, they couldn't run the ball at all. I don't know what they got at quarterback. I mean, Max Johnson, is he still there, right? So I don't know.
Well, Max Johnson went to
is he the one that went
to Texas A&M?
Okay. Who was the other guy that was there? Wasn't there another?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was now,
Yeah.
and I think he's still there. But anyway,
very good.
It's just a point. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. I'm sure they have talent, and I'm fairly certain that Brian Kelly's a good coach. But, I think it's going to take him a year or two to really get things going. So I expect 7 or 8 wins this year, and I expect 10 or 11 next year.
There's something I like to look at media days, and maybe people do pay attention. But we talk about the importance of having a good quarterback in this league. How many of these schools brought their quarterback? And I know it has a lot to do with age sometimes or whatever, but most of the time you can look, and if you're bringing your quarterback to media days, you feel pretty good about your team. Most of the time, not every time. But if you look at day one, there wasn't a quarterback in the bunch. Missouri, Ole Miss, and LSU brought a plethora of other players, from wide receivers to DNs to O-linemen to whatever. Today, look at the teams that came and look who brought their quarterback. There was 2 teams that brought their quarterback. Nick Saban and Alabama. Now, you can't put a lot of stock in Vanderbilt bringing their quarterback. But, again, Bryce Young's the defending Heisman Trophy winner, coming back tomorrow. If you look at K.J. Jefferson, he'll be there for Arkansas. Billy Napier's bringing Anthony Richardson, sophomore quarterback. Mark Stoops from Kentucky's bringing Will Levis, who a lot of people think may be the best quarterback in the whole league. And Kirby Smart's bringing Stetson Bennett. All 4 teams tomorrow are bringing their quarterback. On Thursday, no quarterback for Auburn, no quarterback for Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M. And Josh Heupel is bringing Hendon Hooker, who also may be one of the best quarterbacks. But if you look at that, I mean, expectations around Richardson, Stetson Bennett's defending national champ, K.J. Jefferson really kind of came on the scene with Arkansas. He's got high expectations. And Will Levis, they're expecting him to take Kentucky to the next level. Today you had Bryce Young there, Mike Wright for Vanderbilt, Josh Heupel's bringing Hendon Hooker. I mean, those teams, it's not a coincidence. And here's the Achilles heel for Texas A&M. They had a quarterback transfer out that's at Auburn now. They have one that they get from LSU. They get an injured quarterback back that a lot of people think is going to be their starter. But as much expectations around Texas A&M, they still have a big old question mark right there at quarterback. Same with LSU. Same with Auburn. Yeah. Same with Ole Miss. They just lost Matt Corral, who's been maybe one of the best quarterbacks they've had in school history. I think there's a correlation there, Andy.
I don't think there's any doubt. And I think every one of these schools that don't bring a quarterback are going to have a competition in the fall. They don't know who their leader is going to be. So the one I find interesting is that Billy Napier's bringing Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
I think that says a lot. I mean, I think that he's come in and said, look, you're our guy. You're either going to sink or swim with you.
Right.
And
well,
so
he's athletic. I mean, you look at him and his build, I mean, it lends to be what you want in this league as a quarterback. So up against another break here on the program. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Hi, I'm Scott Blake.
I'm Angie Richardson, and we are the loan team here at Movement Mortgage.
Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you've gone through the process before,
Our mission is to help you move forward with the purchase of your future plans. Call me at 256-397-2771.
or call me at 256-794-1003.
Scott Blake, NMLS number 527945. Angie Richardson, NMLS number 216556. Movement Mortgage supports equal housing opportunity, NMLS number 39179. For licensing information, please visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Hey guys, this is Nate Pass with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Castelluccio Fine Italian Dining in downtown Alexander City is rapidly becoming the region's standard for Italian cuisine, as well as hand-cut filet mignon, fresh Gulf seafood, and the area's best Italian import wine selection. We offer true old-world charm with unmatched hospitality. Like Castelluccio Fine Dining on Facebook to keep up with daily lunch and dinner specials. Also new, we offer catering for your family and small business, so call and order. Castelluccio, downtown Alexander City, where the only thing that rivals the flavor is the dining experience.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. And boy, I tell you, if you want good service, Sunshine Heating and Air. I talked to Kevin today. I was supposed to meet up with him. He said, man, can't meet up. I'm working today. I said, it's that time, man, and so hot. And if your air's out,
You got to. It's
It's a record heat wave in Europe.
It's unsafe.
Record heat wave in Europe right
That's
now.
what, they're like. I mean, like literally, I think people are dying in Portugal.
Well,
I mean,
the house
just
caught
from
on
heat.
fire. Did it combust because it was so hot?
What did
I'm not trying to be funny about it, but I mean,
did the Hoover Dam blow up because it was hot?
They thought they said maybe so. They said, but that one particular substation may have overheated. It may have been because of the heat, and then it exploded. So when you see something come across your phone that there's been an explosion at the Hoover Dam, your picture in your mind is like, crap, the whole thing just cracked and it's about to.
It take a lot to. I mean, that thing is. When you read about how much concrete is in that thing, it's staggering.
It'd be, it's a target, that everybody watches for, if potential, terrorist or anything.
And when you can hide a transformer there, I mean, you didn't see that movie.
No, but just your makeshift everyday gunpowder bomb ain't gonna hurt that.
No,
ain't gonna hurt that.
It's like an
facility.
M80 on that thing. No,
yeah, I mean, you could fly some F-35s in there and have a direct strike, and it may not hurt that place. Again, today we had Nick Saban and Alabama. They brought Will Anderson, Jordan Battle, and Bryce Young. Your thoughts on this Alabama team? Fell a little bit short last year. Nothing to hold their heads down about. Still a phenomenal year. They always make it to the end, and Georgia found a way to finally get over the hump with Alabama and win a national title. Have you seen the correlations to 1981 and in 2022, the year after Georgia wins a national championship, and inflation's out the roof, gas prices to the moon? And somebody said, moral of this story is it's not good for anybody when Georgia wins a national title.
That's pretty good.
It really is. But Nick Saban, again, has the expectations he always has. They'll be picked, in my opinion, to win the whole thing at the end of the week by the media. You get your returning quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy back, man. You got to – and Will Anderson, according to our resident Bammer Luke, may be the best player on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you got the best defensive player in the country, got the best offensive player in the country. You better be picked to win it. I'm sick of them. I mean, my level of sickness
broken record
in Alabama that just shows you how good they are. I expect them to do exactly what they've done for the last several years. Every time I think that every time a quarterback comes through there, and I say, I mean, how do they just keep falling into these guys?
It's his 16th.
And I sit there and I think,
you believe that?
Huh?
16th season at Alabama.
Well, and I
Did
keep
you
saying
foresee
that quarterback. This is the best. The next guy's not going to be as good as this guy, and he's better.
Daggum Mac
every
Jones.
time.
Look at Mac Jones.
I know. And Bryce Young comes out and he's the key. I mean, he's a sophomore and he can't even. I mean, he looks like a fifth-year senior. And I think that kid's just too small. It didn't matter. He throws the ball like he's Joe Montana and
so
John Elway combined. I don't get it.
Is he going to be the number one overall pick in the draft?
Now they'll have to deal with Georgia. Will be really, really good. They lost a lot, but they'll be really, really good. There's some really good teams out there, and Alabama's shown some chinks the last several years that they have not shown maybe in the previous regime, but. I'll say this, last year, and I don't mind saying it, I think injuries cost Auburn an SEC title in 2017. I think, injuries cost Alabama a national championship.
Of course it did. I mean,
they
lost their two best playmakers at wide receiver. Yeah. I mean, look, you can be really good, but you take two or three guys off of any team that's that good, that has that kind of impact, it's going to be felt. And they couldn't overcome the fact that they lost John Mechie in the SEC championship game, and then they lost the other kid that transferred from Ohio State was their playmaker in a national championship game. I mean, just freak deals. And when you don't have those two guys on the field, it limits your playmaking ability. Any of these other teams today, Mike Leach and Mississippi State return 18 starters. There's some semblance of expectations around this team because of the sheer number of starters they return. Shane Beamer has done a really good job at South Carolina recruiting. He really gets after it. There's a lot of positive talk around him, although I think South Carolina is always going to be South Carolina. I think they have a ceiling, and I don't know that he'll get them to where they need to be. It's just that tough. But, of course, Vanderbilt's going to be picked last, as always. But really kind of outside of Alabama, 3 teams that
and like you were talking about the guys that these teams bring, not a coincidence. Mike Leach brings graduate senior, graduate senior. All 3 of them are 5th-year seniors, or maybe even a 6th year. Maybe they came back because of a COVID year. And I'm a little surprised he didn't bring his quarterback, as much as reliant as Mike Leach is and as heavily as he depends on his quarterback. But I think Mississippi State, much like your Auburn Tigers, they've got a really, really veteran team.
Right.
And Mississippi State in the past has taken advantage of teams like this, and they have exceeded expectation.
True.
Can Auburn do that? That's
I just don't think overall he can get over the hump because he don't run the football. And I think in this league, if you can't run the football, you're not going to be able to stay the course. You may have a freak game where you're down and like they were at Auburn and come back and win. And
better not count on that.
That's not that's not how you draw it up.
No.
You don't draw up getting down 28 and trying to come back through the air. But seriously, for a football team in the SEC that really tries to run the ball 6 to 10 times a game, that ain't gonna cut it, man. Not you're never gonna win anything of substance. You may upset somebody because you have such an unorthodox style of offense that you catch somebody off guard. Now that'll make defensive coordinators have nightmares in your secondary because you're like, dadgummit, man, dude throws all over the place, and it's hard to. But no balance on offense really kind of hinders them. So it'll be interesting to see if Mississippi State, like you said, can do something as we've seen in the past with teams that are pretty much veterans, and they've got a boatload of them, 18 returning starters on this Mississippi State squad. We got another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City, Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Fast, fresh, and friendly. That's the Allen Brew Market mission to our customers on the go. Allen Brew Markets of Talladega County fuel your vehicle and you with the best coffee, drinks, snacks, and food, so you can get your day on the fast track. Allen Brew Markets are always convenient with Sylacauga locations on Main Avenue, Highway 280, and Old Birmingham Highway. Allen Brew Markets has everything for the family on the go, and we're always brewing up great specials. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Our guarantee to you.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider. Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted. Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Why is Sarah Automotive Group on Highway 280 in Sylacauga the place for the best deals on your new ride? 3 compelling reasons. 1. With 3 full new car dealers on one lot, you get the best comparison and incentives on Fords, Hondas, and Nissans. Unmatched selection. 2. Sarah pays over market value for your trade to maintain East Central Alabama's best pre-owned vehicle selection and sales. And 3. The Sarah Automotive price won't be beat and delivers lower payments and huge value on your next buy. Shop online or on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Boy, time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
We're almost finished with hour number 1 here on this Tuesday night. You can give us a call, 256-234-6221. A little Major League Baseball All-Star action. The NL up 2-0 going to the bottom of the second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, boy, have you – Shohei Ohtani, man. What a spectacular athlete he is.
I told Randy the other day, I just happened to be cruising by like one night, one random, Tuesday night, and I came across MLB Network.
Right.
And it just so happened that the
Was he
Angels
pitching?
were playing. He was pitching. I mean, Mike Trout led off with a dang home run in the first inning. Ohtani was throwing 98 miles an hour.
And they still suck.
And he struck out like 14.
And they still suck.
Well, they won the game.
Well, but still, though, they got
understand.
maybe the 2 best
That's
players
what I'm
in the
saying.
entire game, and they suck.
Nobody ever gets to see them.
They got fired.
Oh,
The manager got fired.
But, I mean, they're just so – Ohtani, I don't even know how to categorize him.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, the guy's freaking Babe Ruth, but he's doing both. He's not choosing one – he's not saying,
He's going to pitch tonight in the game, and he's also –
He let off.
And he's leading off. Anyway, that's a freak of nature, man. So
he really is.
A tremendous athlete. Let's go back, SEC tomorrow preview. You got the pig man himself, Sam Pittman, will be taking the podium with Arkansas. A ton of expectations around this program. Would you have thought 2 years ago we would be saying that about Arkansas a couple years later after they hired Sam Pittman? Billy Napier, new on the scene in Florida, he pretty much came out and said, look, everybody needs to just check the brakes down here. We ain't got a lot. And, I mean, he's kind of setting the tone. He's like, we got a lot of stuff to fix.
Danny didn't leave me with a lot.
No, he kind of left this place in shambles. Now, there is, on the flip side of Brian Harsin, there is a lot of confidence in Billy Napier's ability to recruit, and we'll see what he's able to do. Kirby Smart will bring his defending national championship Georgia Bulldogs in there, and he'll bring 2 seniors and a sophomore with him. Stetson Bennett will be there, and then Mark Stoops will bring 3 seniors with him, led by Will Levis, the quarterback there. So really 4 teams that have, outside of Florida, but a lot of energy because new coach in Florida. The other 3, they have expectations. Kentucky's expecting to challenge Georgia in the East, and Arkansas, with it being so wide open in the West this year, they're vying to try to get up there to the top. I mean, weirder things have happened. I mean, you look at this West, Texas A&M had this phenomenal recruiting class, but that's more of next year. They got quarterback issues. And you know how that game is with A&M and Arkansas every year. We don't know what LSU is with Brian Kelly. Alabama's clearly the one to be knocked off the hill, but Ole Miss lost a lot. Mississippi State is Mississippi State. Then you got Auburn, which is a wild card. You don't really know what to expect from them. Arkansas easily could be the number 2 team in this division, and they got Bumper Poole as a leader on defense and KJ Jefferson as a leader on offense.
You could argue, I could legitimately make the argument that Sam Pittman has done the best job of any SEC coach of all of them in the last 3 years.
Well, we were all laughing.
Going from what – I mean,
when they
Arkansas
hired
went
him.
what? They went 3 years without
Chad
winning a conference
Morris,
game?
yes. Chad Morris was the biggest joke.
And I think they won one the year before that.
Do you remember the club
Dove?
Nobody attended that place. I mean, what that had become such a joke. I felt sorry. Do you remember it was Jerry Jones? Was it his grandson that came in at quarterback a couple years ago when Auburn was playing?
Wasn't he
And
like
it
a
was
walk-on?
40-something to nothing, or some kind of. I mean, do you remember the first few series of the game? We just mutilated them up front, and then they stuck him in there late in the game, and it was like scout team. We were just decapitating that kid back there. Y'all was like, man, you need to take that kid out. This is awful. And the game was so out of – you remember the last few years, not last year, but two or 3 years prior to that, Auburn has just destroyed –
mutilated
Arkansas. Yeah. And so, yes, coming from where they've been – to what they did this past year, losing a close one to Auburn, losing a close one to Alabama.
Going 3-8.
Well, him going down, they go to Tuscaloosa, and if it's not for a couple mistakes in the second half, they probably have a chance to win that game. They ended up losing by a touchdown, didn't they?
Something like that.
So, I mean, this is a team that has taken on the persona of their head coach, and they don't back down from anybody. They're really physical. They embrace that brand.
Now, I agree with everything you said. I applaud it 100%. Having said that, I do not expect them to challenge for the Western title. I mean, I don't think they're in that class. Right? I expect them to win 8 games like they've been winning.
I need to see their schedule.
I think 9 wins would be
I'm just saying
phenomenal
that what they.
year for
I agree. I'm saying that if there was a fluke year where you got Alabama at the top, but everybody else is kind of like, well, he ain't no clear second guy. I mean, I'm not ready to say Texas A&M's going.
Well, 9 wins may be second in the West.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, they may be the number 2 team.
We're both saying the same thing. It just may not sound the same.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that they have a chance to finish second in the West.
Yeah.
I don't think they can win it.
By default.
And, who in the world would have even said that 2 years ago? I mean, everybody was laughing at hiring Sam Pittman.
We were wondering if they were ever going to win a conference.
We really thought they had the death of the program was upon us. I mean, seriously.
Speaking of that, I was doing a little research because I was writing my column Monday night, and it's SEC Media Day, so I ended up doing preview for tomorrow. Great Steve Spurrier quotes from Media Days. But I went back and I happened to look.
Can't spell citrus out, you do.
And 2000, what was that? That was 2015, or was that when Chad Morris took the job, or 16? Something like that. And it was the 2016 Media Days, and they said they asked Gus Malzahn, your buddy Chad Morris is taking over at Arkansas. How do you think he's going to do? And he said, he's a great coach. I think that's going to work out well.
Is that not typical Gus Malzahn?
It is his buddy. What else was he going to say?
Yeah,
But I think he actually believed it.
Well, he had a lot of stuff that he believed.
And you know what?
He kept saying it over and over every week.
When
we got tired of hearing it.
I'm sure at some point on one of our shows I said, he'd probably do a good job.
Oh, that's a hell of a hire. We said that's going to be Chad Morris, man. What he did at Clemson, blah, blah. We about
not
turn
a
this
good
thing.
head coach, but that guy knows
do you remember we went through the same spiel? We went through every offensive coordinator. Is he really calling the plays, or is Gus calling the plays? Do you remember those days? Reflect back on those days. It didn't matter who it was, whether it was who was the guy that went to Troy. That was the biggest soap opera.
Neil? No, that was the guy that went to West Virginia.
No.
What was his name? I can't remember.
We've already forgotten.
Somebody knows.
So, but anyway, that soap opera every week. Who's calling the play?
Well, this will tell you how bad it was. And how bad. No, this will tell you how bad
and then he goes on to Troy and gets fired.
What? Gus made such a big deal about saying, they talked me into giving up the play calling duties. I will never do that again. And then the next year, He says that at media days. And the next year, he says, well, we're going to hire Chad Morris, and I'm going to go ahead and call the plays. I just
Can somebody have had on replay
strangle
saying,
him.
Coach, let's go to the film?
Yeah.
And have him saying that. So now how do you answer that?
We should have. Well, we knew. Ultimately, I think we all knew it was the beginning.
But no, what we knew was it was comical, and every week we decided to figure out which lie he was going to throw at us next. I mean, I remember in the car going down to Auburn to a game, and he's on the pregame show, and he specifically says, Sean White really hadn't done anything all week. He's not even going to dress. He started. He said it in the pregame show right before the game started. And the guy ran out there and started the daggum game, man. Hey, pathological liar.
And then asked after the
pathological
game.
liar. I mean,
he was like, well, we don't discuss those injuries. You just sit there and lie.
and then his post-game press conference, I don't know how we've turned into the Gus Malzahn bashing, but his post-game press conferences, every one of them were, it's a tough game.
I turned the segment, one of the most popular segments we ever did was Gus quotes.
That's right. I mean, turned it into a weekly deal. So, in some form and fashion, we miss Gus.
Yeah, that's true.
Not because of the football, maybe because of the stuff on the outside. Up against top of the hour break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Gorees Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto, central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
At Glenn Smith in Opelika, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. Check out these hot July offers on powerful full-size Chevy and GMC trucks. The Chevy Silverado discounted up to $6,500 off. Or the GMC Sierra $5,000 off. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on several models. New inventory is arriving daily.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live here in hour number 2, brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Can't thank them enough for their long-time partnership here with us on the program, Andy, and been with us a long time. Make sure you go to JR Sports Bar and Grill for some of the best food around here in these parts. And then if you need some heating and air work, you need a new unit, call on Sunshine Heating and Air. All of our sponsors, too, that you see across the screen every time we're on the air, Alex City Marine, there's been with us for years. And I want to thank Stephen and Lee Yerke for being part of this program as well, along with all the other sponsors out there.
Some of the great electricians at CNT Electric.
Absolutely, that we corrected today. Little
I had a
grammatical.
mushroom Swiss burger and some homemade chips just last week. It's still as good as it's ever been.
At JR.
At JR Sports Bar.
And nothing better than that burger, man.
It's good stuff.
Hard to beat. Quality never changes.
It's
right?
true.
You know, if you got it right, you got it right. All right, so Thursday, it'll be Brian Harsin up first at 8 o'clock. He'll take Tank Bigsby, Derek Hall, and John Samuel Schenker with him. 3 outstanding players. 3 guys that are really Brian Harsin fans that really supported him through this deal. And, you know, they're going to –
I'm wondering, you know, you hear things a little bit closer to the program than I do probably. But Tank Bigsby, by a lot of estimations, had 1 foot out the door.
He did.
And was maybe re-recruited maybe by players, I don't know, or by Brian Harsin and staff. Right. How close do you think that was, and what do you think that conversation was like?
I think he had already made the decision that he was going to leave. And then I think Cornell Williams is the guy that ended up saying, look, just hang in there. It's going to be you're our guy.
You're going to be the focal point.
You're our guy. And I think through those channels and maybe some other things, he was able to bring him back in. But Derek Hall, tremendous.
Yeah, Hall and Schenker, they're all in.
They are, and Derek Hall has a chance to do something that nobody's done since 2017, and that's have double-digit sacks in a season. And he's a phenomenal player, and he was the defensive end for us in 17. Ended up signing with the Broncos that did this all the time. I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh, yeah.
Off the top of my head. Anyway, he was the last guy to have double-digit sacks.
And he never even made it in the NFL.
He didn't make it. No, but he was great in college.
He was he had a really
he was a
good
dominant force
years
for that Auburn defense. So just your thoughts. So I think we got a phone call. I want to come back and get your thoughts on Auburn at Media Days on Thursday. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, guys, it's Luke. How's it going?
It's great, man. How
Luke
you doing? Luke off Star Wars.
The guy you're filling in for.
Oh.
Star Wars Luke, right?
That's right. No, I was going to call in and just give a report on the North-South All-Star game, the basketball. I just called both of them. Really, both of them dominated by the North, to be quite honest. The North, much to my surprise, owns like a 22-3 record on the girls' side and a 50-21 record on the boys' side. I mean, they just dominate this series for whatever reason. And
are you really surprised by that? Let me stop you. Are you really surprised by that? If you look at the basketball that's played in this state and what we see at the finals every year, the North just seems to have, and not to say that the South doesn't have good teams, but the North really pours it out in girls and boys basketball.
No, and I can certainly see that. At the same time, when you think about Montgomery, you think about Robert E. Lee, you think about Jeff Davis, you think about down in the Mobile area, all the incredible athletes, and in an all-star setting where you don't have a lot of time to get to know one another, you would think that, you know, the more talented athletes would generally win out. And I always feel like Mobile is the most talented area in the state of Alabama. But, man, Wynn Miller, who's going to Belmont from Vestavia, he was very, very good. He attacks the basket with just no regard and got a lot of great body control. Then there was a kid named Sexton from Scottsboro who was absolutely draining it, and a kid named Paul Landsey from Chelsea High School who I'd really never heard of. And he was absolutely lighting it up from beyond the arc. That was the one place that the North truly controlled the game in both games, was from beyond the arc and defensively too. The North side played with a lot. I really wanted to call in, and I hope Terry from Talladega is listening, because one guy he is always mad about Auburn not going after more heavily is Patrick Screws from Eufaula, and he is he's a player that was on this team. He was far and away the biggest guy on the court, and I'm going to tell you, look, you don't want to judge all of a guy's football talent based on what he does on the basketball court, right? But when you see an offensive tackle with the footwork this kid has and the body control he has, his soft hands, but he's still very aggressive. Man, I was really impressed with Patrick Screws, who's going to be going to Georgia Tech to play football.
Well, you and I have seen over the years multiple top football players that played for their respective team in high school as far as basketball is concerned, and we saw them usually at the finals in Birmingham. And you can say, when you see a Reggie Ragland or you see somebody like that, and you know that translates very well to the football field. So, again, a guy that's right down the road from Auburn respectively in a need position chooses Georgia Tech over Auburn, and it's really inexcusable, to be honest with you. And I know that burns Terry up, burns a lot of Auburn fans up. And, again, I don't know that we'll ever get a true picture of what Brian Harsin is as far as a recruiter. I don't think we'll ever really know, because of what all went on during the offseason with him and the people that wanted him out. So, he'll just have to go with the cards that he's dealt. Hopefully he can win a lot of games this year and kind of turn the pendulum in his direction. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I think one thing I told our play-by-play guy tonight, Landry Roberts, I said, just watching this game, if Screws is the 30 or 32nd best player in the state of Alabama, as a lot of people have him listed, this is a better year for Alabama than I could have ever imagined. This doesn't show me how well he blocks necessarily, but all the tools are there. Yeah, it would probably be better if his arms were a little longer, if you really wanted him to be a top 5 NFL pick or something. But the way he controls himself, the way that he's aware of his size, and that a lot of times offensive linemen, they forget how big they are. And he's just very aware. He's got a good court sense, which I think will translate into football as well. I was really impressed with him. He wasn't the best basketball player out there, but he really showed me a lot tonight. Keldrick Falk also played this game. I thought he looked really good and really athletic. He didn't stand out quite as much. Of course, he's going to Florida State. But let me think. There was Cade Phillips was supposed to play, but he didn't play for whatever reason. He's committed to Tennessee to play basketball, obviously. And then, I would say Wynn Miller may have been the next best player. And again, he's going to Belmont. Maybe Alabama and Auburn are doing the right thing, not offering him. Maybe he's not big enough, whatever. But I was impressed with him.
Luke, hang on with us. We're going to take a break, come back. I want to talk about media days today for Alabama and some other things. So hang with us. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz Live right after this.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Okay, somebody's not wearing their seatbelt.
I don't wear seatbelts. Might wrinkle my shirt.
That's okay. I'm sure they can iron it before the funeral.
What funeral?
Yours. Almost 70% of people who die in car crashes aren't wearing a seatbelt.
Okay. There. You happy?
Just happy to be alive.
Seatbelts. It's hard to live without them. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus. Making new friends? Mastering a new skill? Reaching a personal goal? The encore performance? The first date? The internship? And now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
At Glenn Smith and Opelika, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary. Check out these Hot July offers on powerful full-size Chevy and GMC trucks. The Chevy Silverado discounted up to $6,500 off. Or the GMC Sierra $5,000 off. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on several models. New inventory is arriving daily.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live here at, sponsored by JR's, not at JR's. I thought I was earlier. JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Eating and Air. Let's go back to the phone lines. Our good friend Luke Robinson hanging on for another segment. Luke, I want to dive into, you just gave us an update on the North-South basketball games that you called during All-Star Week. Let me say this about All-Star Week. It kind of gives everybody a break. Mandatory, everybody shuts it down as far as 7-on-7s and play dates and all that kind of stuff. And then when we come back from this, everything kind of ramps up, and we're only a few weeks out from the start of high school football. But it's a good week of events for all of these kids, both on the girls and the boys' side here in the state.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, look, it's not going to – I gave you these statistics like the North has a 22-3 lead on the girls' side, 50-21 lead on the boys' side, and nobody's really worried about that. It's not like the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game where the kids, they got to keep track of that. I don't think anybody really knows what North versus South is, but once you roll the ball out there, you know, most of the time those competitive juices get flowing, and you don't care. You're like, I'm playing basketball, right? So I want to win. Am I playing in the North-South game? Am I playing at the YMCA? Am I playing against my brother in the driveway? I just want to win.
Well, anytime, if you're a competitor, you're going to you want to go out there and give it your best, especially in these all-star games where you don't have an opportunity to really mesh and get a lot of chemistry. So it's an opportunity for you to showcase your talents individually. But it is a good week. I just wanted to kind of mention that. All right, let's flip over, talk about Alabama. Alabama at Media Days today with Nick Saban. Just kind of your take on what happened with them today.
Yeah, first of all, I was supposed to go to it, and I was looking forward to it, but both my parents got COVID, and my brother was out of town, so I was needed at the office, and so I hate that I couldn't go because it's always fun, even though you may not learn as much as you used to. But so I think that one of the more interesting things was Saban saying, hey, look, I wish everybody asking me about retiring would ask all these other coaches about it because they may be more liable to retire than I am. Saban, his whole life centers around football. So, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily true that he's going to call it quits in the next 2-3 years. I think he may coach longer than that. I thought that was interesting. I thought the take on the NIL stuff was interesting. We knew it would be, and this goes for everybody talking about it. For instance, one thing that people have begun to pick up on, ever since Saban went on his rant about Texas A&M and called them out, then Jimbo had his retort and all this, has anybody noticed that Texas A&M's recruiting has fallen off a little bit? Like it's not the same as it was? I mean, maybe they were forced to scale it back a little bit. Who knows? I mean, I feel like that's kind of interesting to me. Brian Kelly talking about how their collective is as competitive as anybody else's. And, you know, I talked to Joseph Hastings from On 3 for the Locked On Bama podcast today, and I went through and looked at the state of Alabama because I thought it interesting that in the state of Alabama, while Alabama's having a pretty good year, Auburn isn't getting as many as they really want to, I don't think. But there's still guys going to Clemson, going to Penn State, going to Georgia, going to Arkansas that normally Alabama or Auburn would get, and they're not doing it. And then I said, well, I wonder if this happened in other places. I looked at Florida. Florida is not supposed to get anybody in their top 25 until about number 25. And Florida State, too. That's weird to me. Then I looked at Georgia. You know who's not having a great year in state? Georgia. They've already lost the top. I think the top player is Caleb Downs, and most people think he's going to Bama now. The second best player is Justice Haynes, who just committed to Alabama, and in their top 10, I think Georgia only has two commitments. I mean, that's kind of weird. And then even in Louisiana, I think LSU only has 3 or 4 of the top 12 players in the state of Louisiana. People just aren't keeping kids at home anymore, and it's bizarre to me because you would have thought maybe NIL would solidify some of that, but it's not. That's kind of interesting. And then, of course, Clark Lee saying that his goal is to make Vanderbilt the best program in college football. And my first thought was, how many years do you think you're going to be able to coach? You would have to coach 412 years to get Vanderbilt to be the best program in college football.
And they still wouldn't be there. You know, there's no odds. You know, whatever odds out in Vegas that you could get to put $1 on with Vanderbilt winning a national championship, you would do a lot better job of going out there in the road and lighting that dollar on fire and warming your hands. You get a lot more out of it. They have no chance, man. 0 chance to win. Not even their division in the SEC, much less a national championship.
Every man's got to have a goal.
That's an interesting question. I wonder what the highest they've ever even finished in the East is.
Well,
Vanderbilt was really good in the 50s.
Oh, well.
We
that
didn't
was
have
before
an East
division.
back then.
James
I'm not even sure we had an East coach.
James Franklin may have had Vanderbilt as high as 4th.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. I mean, seriously.
Went to back-to-back bowl games.
Yeah,
Won back-to-back.
They beat Georgia a couple times.
Beat Auburn a couple times.
Yeah, that's right. Why bring up old stuff? But anyway, that's why.
Beat some horrible Auburn teams.
Yeah, there you go. That's better like. Coached by Tony Franklin himself, right? That we took that.
But
that
you know,
nice offense
it's funny that we keep talking about Harsin missing out on in-state guys, and look, maybe
well, these players are going somewhere. But you know, you said it. I mean, these players are going somewhere in these other states too.
That's right.
Maybe they can afford at some of these other places to miss out on a few. Auburn, not so much right now.
No, I know, but I do find it interesting that Billy Napier and Mike Norvell are having a lot of problems. I mean, they may end up with a few of the guys in the top 25, but right now they don't have any commitments from them, and
that is really mind blowing. That right there in itself, it may be one of the most mind blowing things I've heard in a long time. That Florida State and who's winning the battle?
Is it the Miami effect?
Is it Miami?
Miami, Alabama, Notre Dame. I'll tell you who's having a killer year. And I know everybody's going to make fun of them because they, how they perform when they get in the playoffs and yada, yada, yada. Notre Dame is having an unbelievable recruiting year. Like the best I can ever remember they're having. And, they just got a coach that's charismatic. I have no idea if he can coach, but he's going to have some dogs on that team.
Well, if he's able to run into Florida and get some of these top players, and the in-state schools are struggling, that there's a lot to be said about that. Well, Luke, we're up against another break, brother. We appreciate you hanging on for another segment. Be safe on the ride home, and we'll see you this week.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Thanks so much. Up against another break. Stay tuned. More Sports Blitz right after this.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Now is the best time to sell your current home, as it's a seller's market, meaning that on average you can get up to 96% of your asking price. Who's the most aggressive and most experienced to help you sell your home?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Gaskins, broker Century 21 Lake Area Realty in the Lake Martin area. We are getting a 96% return on our listing price to sales price in this area. Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
L&G Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
GillsOpelika.info. Get pre-approved in minutes online at GillsOpelika.info for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Gills Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Appreciate everybody out there that has joined us tonight. And, again, about 30 more minutes left in tonight's show, man. It has rocketed by. So we've kind of broken down. Again, we had Luke call in, had a couple segments with him. We did say Brian Harsin and Tank Bigsby, Derek Hall, John Samuel Schenker up on Thursday. Also, Jimbo the Man Fisher will be there to answer some questions. That could be interesting because of the stuff that went on in the off season with him and taking some things.
Coach of the whole shebang.
Yeah.
You wonder. A lot of times people are just kind of tired at that point.
No, they'll be tuning in.
You know,
Josh Heupel, a lot of daggum.
Definitely some hype about Tennessee.
Hype from Heupel.
Who would have thought? I mean, well, again, nothing's happened yet. He had a decent first year. And he gave them something at least to be excited about.
Are they going to be Tennessee when they?
Let's see what happens this year.
Can they challenge? Can they challenge for the East?
Not this year. But
not this year.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're going.
Let's see. I don't know.
Are they going to beat Georgia?
I don't know if we
can
got
beat
a call
Kentucky.
I don't know. Reed, do we have a phone call? I just need to kind of get a confirmation on that line or not. So
yes,
that is. Sometimes it is on that line. Sometimes it's not. Tonight it is. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sports Blitz.
Brett, Andy, hey, Brandon Foshee, how are y'all?
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
It's good. I'm good, man. Good to hear you, man.
You gonna catch fish this weekend?
We're going to try. And
I hear you.
I hope we have a big old haul, brother.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, if y'all not told Luke yet that that's a Benjamin Russell High School football and Auburn channel, don't call in while y'all talking about our players.
Hey, Luke's our biggest.
I love you, Luke. I know you. I know you're listening. Somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. Hey, look, Luke's our biggest fan on Auburn Blitz. He didn't miss an episode.
I know most Alabama fans worry about Auburn football.
I don't know why lately.
Well, I don't either, not in the Harsin era, but since the NIT stuff came around, you know, they're getting nervous because now we can all pay them.
Well, we better get to paying because we got 4 players right now committed in this class. I think that's the thing that's really concerning Auburn fans right now is can Brian Harsin recruit to the level we need him to recruit to compete?
Well, seriously, I used to keep up with, you know, AL.com, watched every recruit we had, and I haven't done it under Brian Harsin era. Do we have a defensive or offensive lineman?
We got one. One 4-star offensive lineman from Auburn High School. He is a top 25 player in the state. So he is a good pickup, but we only have one. We need about 7.
Yeah, we need about and who is our defensive coordinator now?
Jeff Schmedding.
Where is he from?
Boise State.
He was the linebacker coach last year and got promoted when Derek Mason decided to go elsewhere.
Okay.
Now, I will say, you know, there is a lot of people in the Auburn fan base that swear he called the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, he
was in charge of the defensive philosophy in the Iron Bowl. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well then, in saying that, if we would have maybe changed up at the quarterback position in the second half, we'd probably won the Iron Bowl. So
if we'd have had anybody else in there,
our quarterback's going to be
right. Well, I think you got to hope it's Zach Calzada, and if it's not Zach Calzada, it's going to be down to T.J. Finley, who we all know we've seen.
That can't happen.
That's right. And the only other option you got is Robbie Ashford.
Who's that kid?
He's a kid that transferred from Oregon that was at Hoover High School. That was a 4-star guy that went to Oregon last year, didn't play because he was a freshman. He's coming back. Now, he's extremely talented. He's a dual threat kind of quarterback, can run around, and he's got a good arm, but, again, no experience. So you know how that goes.
Yes, I guess Bo Nix will beat him, or Bo Nix will take his position at Oregon.
Yeah, he'll take his position possibly on the bench where he was sitting but Bo Nix opens up with Georgia in the first game in Georgia, so we'll see how that happens. How that works out.
That'll be pretty tough.
Yeah, I think he'll lose another one like he's done a few other times to Georgia.
Well, I did. The only thing I can say for Luke is I did like Saban's comments on when they asked at the SEC media days, asked Saban about Gus Malzahn. I think Saban did a pretty good job on that myself.
I didn't hear those comments. What did he say?
I mean, he was like kind of looking at us like y'all are idiots for firing him. But we all know where that is.
Well, Gus Malzahn did have his number more than anybody.
He had a hard time figuring him out.
He did. He did.
Yeah, he said he's the one that brought to the game what I'm doing today.
Well,
you know, a little bit of
unfortunately, Gus Malzahn didn't have enough confidence to stick with it himself.
And didn't Saban say it was illegal at the time?
That's right.
Yeah.
My how things change.
Right. And he, you know, Saban was hard-headed as Les Miles and all the older coaches, and he wasn't going to go to that, but when he got an offensive coordinator that would do that, he started scoring 40 points a game.
Well, to me, that's why Nick Saban's probably the best coach ever in this modern age, is that he's changed his philosophy to keep winning. He could have easily said, no, I'm going to continue to do what I did forever, and we're going to play power football, and I'm going to scoff at this, spread out type offense, RPO stuff. But he didn't, and he's changed, and he's gone out and gotten guys that have evolved with the game, and that's why he's continued to win.
You look at his past 5 quarterbacks, 4th quarterback, whatever,
It's like Andy said. It doesn't matter who the next guy up is. You're thinking, well, he ain't going to be better than this guy before, and he just gets better and better every year.
Right.
So, yeah, I think all of us are just sick of it.
I agree with you, but I just really I wanted to ask y'all about our offensive and defensive line recruiting, because I don't want to look at it anymore now that Carson was too hard-headed to put in whoever that kid out of Texas was.
Yeah, Demetrius Davis.
Yeah. I mean, why would you not do that at the end of the Bama game last year and try to win it?
Well, if you just break one play, the game's over.
Exactly.
The game was 10-0. Majority of the game, you get down to about midway through the 4th quarter, and you just make one play, the game's over. And he couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
Has Auburn ever beat in the last 8-10 years Alabama without a dual threat quarterback?
I guess.
I don't think we have.
No, and Jarrett Stidham was technically considered a dual threat quarterback. That's how he was listed. Well, the guy ran. He ran.
He was athletic. He was
listed. He was listed as a dual threat quarterback.
But he was a passer.
No, he was I'm not arguing that, but he could run for a first down when he needed to.
When he needed to.
In that game, he scored a touchdown.
Running from about 20-something yards out.
A touchdown running.
Yeah, you're right. So the answer to that question is no.
I mean,
Reggie Slack. Has it been that long?
Well, I'm saying in the last.
Ben Lear.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben Lear.
3 yards in a cloud of dust with everybody back then.
If Ben would take offense to that. He'd be the first one to text me. You don't think I was a dual threat? Negative. You weren't a threat to run anyway.
The clown we had playing in the game last year was not a dual threat. I don't think he was.
He wasn't a single threat either.
If there's an opposite,
he wasn't a single threat either. Was
if there's a no threat, yeah.
He has a no threat. So, well, hey, look, all we can do is hope, and maybe this team will get some good fortune. They need to get some wins to try to swing the recruiting momentum back in their favor.
Maybe so.
Big Cat Weekend coming up. Big Cat Weekend.
That's right.
So that hopefully maybe
we'll see how that
something
works
good
out.
will happen.
We need it.
We'll see. I hope Austin can pull us through on some linemen, because y'all know that's what it is.
Well, they're going to need them. I mean, again, only 4 players committed in this class. They got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys.
Hey,
y'all have a good night.
Awesome, man. Thank you for calling, brother.
Let's all pray for West Coleman.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, talk to you later. All right, bye. Yeah, exactly. Continue to pray for Wesley and his family, and we'll talk some more about that before we get off. We got to get to a break. A couple segments left in tonight's show right after this.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER.com. It's better at Brubaker.com.
For almost 10 years, there's been the go-to place for tires and automotive repair, Right Tire. Right Tire sells all makes of tires for anyone's vehicle and anyone's budget. And with Right Tire, you always get the right prompt service with the right price. Right Tire also can handle all of your bumper-to-bumper automotive needs with certified brake service, alignment, oil changes, tune-ups, and so much more. So when you want tires and automotive done right, see Right Tire on West Fort Williams in the heart of Sylacauga. Right work, right price, every time.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal. The encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Become a member of the Superior family. Superior GMC Cadillac, Superior Hyundai, or Superior Automotive Pre-Owned. Between our 3 dealers in East Central Alabama, we offer the superior selection and service for any buyer's needs. All with the personal touch of being locally family-owned and operated. Check out any of our dealers online, or our 3 great lots in Anniston on Quintard, or our pre-owned superstore Pell City, and join the Superior family of value.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. A couple segments left on tonight's show. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, as you do every week. Thanks for the phone calls. It's good to hear from Brandon there. A lot of insight in what he was feeling toward Auburn. Again, that'll be the final day of media days. Those 3 teams will close it out. Let's kind of slide over and talk about maybe what Brian Harsin in this segment can anticipate as far as some questions that might be thrown at him. I know he's going to be asked about quarterbacks, going to be in maybe injured players. What's his take on NIL? I remember last year everything was surrounded by COVID, and you're going to get your team vaccinated and all this kind of junk. And what about you? Do you have the shot? Have you taken the shot? No. Boy, I tell you, these 2 years, 2020 to now, it's just been a blur, hasn't it?
It has been. I mean, thinking back on it, it's kind of odd. It's like, it's almost like 2001. You kind of look back and, did that happen? Did that really happen? Did I live through that? And now you look at the world and hear these whispers of things, starting to come back, and you just think, nah, it can't be right. But I'm afraid it is.
Yeah,
I'm afraid it is.
Well, it's kind of gone. It's gone. Gone by pretty quickly, and it's all been kind of a blur. But here we are, and definitely be asked about recruiting. And I think maybe that may be the biggest. And then I think he'll also be asked. I think the all-season stuff will be brought up again. I just think that they're going to have to get ready for that. I think they're. Maybe that's a tie into the recruiting thing, and I know he won't be able to specifically address recruits in specific because they're not allowed to do that, which is stupid, by the way. And, we all act like that's some kind of – you can't talk about a kid, but you can pay them whatever. So he's going to have to deal with that, and these players are going to deal with it. I think they're already prepped for that. So we'll see.
I have no doubt you'll hear something to the effect of moving on. We're going to move on. We're going to get kind of trying to build a program here at Auburn. Putting all that stuff out, it doesn't matter. All that stuff's useless. We're looking forward. We're trying to do something here.
Do you like Brian Harsin as the coach at Auburn? Let's start
I like
there.
him as a person. Yeah. I think he'll do.
If all this junk had not happened,
I'm ready to give him a chance.
Well,
I'm ready to be patient. Now, the question is everybody
that patient 3 years?
I give a coach 4 years. If he doesn't get it done in 4 years, he needs to go, unless there's a 2012 scenario.
Right.
If that happens, then you got to go.
Hey, boy, you talking about losing control of everything. he lost control of the entire program. He literally, I guess, said, I'll never be fired. I won a national championship in 2010. It's been 50-something years. They'll never get rid of me, no matter how bad. Yeah, it can get bad enough, and you can only be 2 years removed, and people can say I've had.
If you lose, it's the same thing that happened to Dan Mullen. If you lose the team, you got to go.
No doubt.
That's just the way it is.
All right, so Auburn will have another representative on the SEC network. A guy that I was pretty good friends with at Auburn during those days. He played football with Cole Kublik and Ben Leard and all those guys. I was basically a sports information student assistant. Knew Takeo really well, even when he moved on to play NFL. Haven't talked to him in a long time, but back at the SEC Network, he's looking forward to it.
Think he'll do a good job.
I think he'll do an outstanding job. One of the best linebackers in school history. And
he's gone on. He's done some studio work for the NFL.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's talked about. He says here, I've been thinking about. I wanted to be a part of the SEC Network for a while, and I think he'll be a great fit. He is rather charismatic. He is rather. I think Auburn does these videos before the game. He did one that was the best one I've ever seen.
TikTok.
Yes. That gets you. So it gets you really, really hyped for the game. So he's going to say.
Well, he was that way when he played, by the way.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you. Another thing from a personal standpoint. You were waiting at any moment for him to flip out on you. You could just. He was one of those guys. We could all just be sitting around, and all of a sudden somebody just say something, and he look at you like, "Man, what'd you say?" And you're just like, "Man, I didn't really say anything." And because you're like, he's about to tear somebody's head off their shoulders. I'll never forget. I'll tell this real quick story, and we'll get to our last break. Stand on the sideline, the '97 Iron Bowl, and we kind of moved around on the field, and we were on the student section end of the field, and Alabama was backed up, and they were moving toward the other way. And Takeo Spikes hit Freddie Kitchens running out of bounds right there in front of us. And I can't really repeat what was said back and forth, but I'll never forget the speed and the viciousness of the hit that was put on Freddie Kitchens by him. And it's just like, the guy's a good linebacker. He's a freak of nature. But until you see that up close and personal and you put yourself in that situation, you go, man, if that guy hit me like that, I'd probably be dead. And it's just like those guys go to war every play in that game. And, I was fortunate enough to be able to be on the sideline a few times for the Iron Bowl, and it's eye-opening, man, the speed of that game and just the speed of football in the SEC and how, it's as an armchair quarterback and as a fan, you're sitting back watching it on your TV or you're watching it from the stands. You're like, well, I don't know why he didn't throw it over there. I mean, you have no idea the amount of processing that has to go on in a minute amount of time to be able to make the right play.
Yeah. And he not only did that in college, he was the kind of guy that went on and was exceptional in the NFL.
He was phenomenal.
Which is a completely different kind of cat. I mean, physically, and
he was just built mentally that way too. So, but one of the best players to ever play at Auburn, and just having that opportunity to be on the SEC Network now, and I know he and Cole Kublik were teammates. He's a big part of the SEC and ESPN and all that. So I know those two. Kind of excited to kind of be back together. So, hey, up against our final break of the program, we come back. We'll do a little rank 'em to end the show. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
So, you finally got the boat, ATV, or side-by-side of your dreams, huh? Then make it yours with marine-grade audio that'll provide crisp, high-quality sound that's loud enough to be heard, whether you're cruising on the lake or hitting a mud hole. Come see Steve at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, so you'll be ready to crank up the volume. Whoa, but wait, you don't have to pull out of the water and trailer it to Auburn. The Car Stereo Shop can handle all of your work at any one of the Lake Martin marinas.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
At Russell Medical, our transitional care unit is a great alternative to nursing home care after a medical or surgical hospital stay. Transitional care increases strength and endurance through skilled nursing and therapy programs to promote a safe return home. Enjoy on-site therapy, private rooms, an activity center, and more. Call Russell Medical today to see if our transitional care unit is the right care for you.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill in Sunshine. Heating and Air, final segment of the show. It's a short segment, so we'll get down to it. Rank them, Andy, and I'll throw them to you. We only have time for a couple. So let's start with Brian May of Queen, born on this day in 1947.
After Queen became an astrophysicist, got his doctorate in 2007.
You know, have a pretty good music career. I think I'll go become an astrophysicist.
Why
right?
not? Yeah. Pretty good.
Most rock guys just drift off into LSD land, right?
Yeah.
And kind of mellow away. He goes on to become an astrophysicist. All right, Bohemian Rhapsody, We Are the Champions, We Will Rock You, Under Pressure, Fat Bottom Girls, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and Another One Bites the Dust. Man, those are some good ones. Man.
I mean, all of them are really, really good.
Rank number one. Who's number one?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go with probably
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, now, you know, that's going to be the easy pick. I'm going to go against that. I like Bohemian Rhapsody. I listen to it all the time. But I'm actually going to go with Another One Bites the Dust. I think that's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. I just love
the
bass.
That and who thought Queen would have so many stadium songs?
I know.
We Are the Champions. Another One Bites the Dust.
We Will Rock You.
We Will Rock You. I mean, everything gets played in all the stadiums.
True.
Fat Bottom Girls is pretty good.
That's a good one. Under Pressure. Hard to argue.
Yeah.
Little David Bowie combo.
I was just going to say David Bowie that's pretty good.
Yeah. I actually like the Crazy Thing. Crazy Little Thing Y'all Love.
Least
kind of Elvis, you know.
Least favorite. I couldn't stand it.
I just kind of
not a fan of that song.
I did kind of doo-wop stuff.
I'm going to go Bohemian Rhapsody because it's the best on the list. I mean, it's number one.
It's the weirdest of all.
And that's why I think it's number one. Vin Diesel, born on this day in 1967, actually born yesterday. In 1967, in some really good movies, man. Saving Private Ryan, Pitch Black, Triple X, Guardians of the Galaxy, Fast and Furious, on and on and on, all the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, about 9 of them. I obviously Saving Private Ryan is the best movie here.
No doubt.
Hard to watch, so I've only ever seen it once. Never will watch it again. It's just too much.
I watch it every time it comes
I cannot watch it again. I saw it one time. I'm glad I saw it. I don't ever want to see it again. the scene, I still have dreams, nightmares about the scene when they're in the building and they're throwing grenades in, and they're frantically getting them and throwing them out the window. And you're thinking, I mean, one's going to blow up eventually.
That's right.
And it's just, that's real, man. That is just
the harshness
it drives
of war.
me crazy.
The harshness of war, man. I mean,
it's true. Yeah.
You're right. That
Guardians of the
right.
Galaxy #2.
Yeah. Thought he was good in Triple X. I like him in the Fast and Furious. He's probably most known for the Fast and Furious movies. That's kind of his.
Pitch Black underrated too, by the way.
Oh yeah, no
really
doubt.
Neat, creative creatures in that one.
That's right.
And you can't see them coming because it's dark.
Because guess what? It's pitch black. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening out there. Again, I want to send out our thoughts and prayers to our good buddy Wesley Coleman, who is at UAB awaiting a new heart transplant in the future for him, and a dear friend of ours. And we're pulling for him, and we have a GoFundMe out there. You can find it on our pages. If not, you can go to GoFundMe.com, type in Wesley Coleman, and if you feel led, you can give that way as well. But we're pulling for him. We know he's going to come out even stronger on the other side of this. So our thoughts and prayers continue to be with him and his family. For Andy Graham, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we have enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Hi, John. You have messages.
Not now, phone. I'm driving.
You know you want to text your friends.
Texting and driving is illegal. No distractions, period. People die that way. Eating, putting on makeup.
Scroll through your music?
Nope.
Your girlfriend just texted. She's bored.
Sorry, not worth dying for.
Good call. She seems a little clingy.
Don't text your life goodbye. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Are you looking for something really good for lunch? Are you tired of the same old fast food? Well, go to Buck's. Get a meat and 2 sides or a meat and 3 sides for the best deal in town. Buck's always serves up the best food, including fried chicken, wings, hamburger steaks, catfish, shrimp, and yes, of course, the famous Buck Cheeseburger Basket. And Buck's has dinner specials too. So if it's your turn to cook dinner, Buck's will be glad to do it for you. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you.
Whoever you are, wherever you race, hit the track like a champion. The YZ250F and the YZ450F Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Editions. Only from Yamaha.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Are you looking for something really good for lunch? Are you tired of the same old fast food? Well, go to Buck's. Get a meat and 2 sides or a meat and 3 sides for the best deal in town. Buck's always serves up the best food, including fried chicken, wings, hamburger steaks, catfish, shrimp, and yes, of course, the famous Buck Cheeseburger Basket. And Buck's has dinner specials too. So if it's your turn to cook dinner, Buck's will be glad to do it for you. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you.
Whoever you are, wherever you race, hit the track like a champion. The YZ250F and the YZ450F Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Editions. Only from Yamaha.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.